Okay, so Nationals here. It was at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. Does not get any better than that. The best venue in pickleball, one of the best venues in tennis, and by far the best championship court in pickleball. I was listening to the Freestyle Boys podcast this morning, and they did not have a lot of nice things to say about Nationals. They did not have a lot of nice things to say about USA Pickleball. And there is truth to some of that stuff, but I do believe that there was plenty of good out of that tournament, and it wasn't all negative. Always love going to Palm Springs. Anywhere you go, it's pristine. Every green, every golf course, I feel like is perfect. Landscaping, landscaping is always up to par. Anyhow, it's always easy to travel to Palm Springs. And if you're at the tennis garden, there's nothing like it. That place is pristine. But can't say enough about the tennis garden. I thought the general communication with staff and players, it wasn't all that great. There was a lot of players that were confused. I know my wife was very confused. She didn't know where the VIP area was. And it seemed like as a player, when I was asking the staff where certain courts were, they didn't really know what they were doing. So there was some of that, do they have control over that stuff? I have no idea. I would assume that they do to a certain degree. But it just seemed like the security and the staff that was working there wasn't very educated with knowing the rules and regulations. And then simply with how spread out that venue is, the staff needs to know where the freaking courts are, because if they don't, it's a jumbled mess. And there's a lot of amateurs out there that maybe don't have their phone. And if you don't have your phone and you don't know where the courts are, and the staff can't tell you where the courts are, let's just say I saw a lot of people like running around with their heads chopped off trying to find their courts. So I thought that can be fixed. And yes, there is signs and stuff like that, but for gosh sakes, I would, set up arrows, have bigger signs, but just have more information guiding and directing people towards the correct courts, because it was kind of a jumbled mess, if you ask me. The Airbnb that we stayed at, I took a bunch of stories of the place that we're staying at. Probably the coolest Airbnb that we have been to. And to be honest, we actually contacted the owner of the Airbnb and we said, hey, we're going to be in Palm Springs 6 times in 2022. Can we just book these dates now? And we have not heard back. So didn't know if we scared them away or if they're going to respond back and say, of course, since you're Tyson McGuffin, we will do anything for you. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. But it was our master bedroom was one of the bigger master bedrooms I've ever seen. We had a living room in our master bedroom, and the living room was 3 times the size of my living room that I have at my home. And not only did we have this huge living room in our master bedroom, but I'm a big steam sauna guy, and the shower had a steam sauna in it. So, that gave me some good luck. And I started my day out each morning with about a 20-minute sweat session in that steam. So had the steam, had the big master bedroom, had this big super spacious open living room. Kitchen was super nice, brand new appliances, and on top of that we had a cool little backyard, pool, hot tub, barbecue. Had some friends come over one night. We've been doing that anytime that we're in California. We haven't done anywhere else, but anytime we're in California, we usually invite 8 or 10 people over for a little dinner one night. And so we had the dinner outside. It was a little chilly outside as I was barbecuing. So we ended up taking the gang indoors. But out the backyard was a great setup to have people over, to have a little dinner, to have a little party. And then last but not least, we had this gigantic theater room for the kiddos. And I did some film. I watched film each night on that big projector screen, and just gave myself a little ammo, kind of leading into the next day. If I was, for example, I was playing mixed doubles on Friday. Once I got done with singles on Thursday, went back to the house, showered, did all my recovery stuff, hung out with the kiddos, and then once everybody went to bed, went in the theater room, watched some of my previous mixed matches. Just kind of jotted down some good things that I was doing, some negative things that I was doing. But obviously tough to see the positivity of yourself playing when you're your world's biggest critic, if you know what I mean. I'm definitely that person. But anyhow, it was just nice to like have this big open room to myself and to be able to watch some film. And just to have some, general insight leading into the next day. And a tip that I have out there, for all the viewers out there that play tournaments, if you're second guessing yourself, or if you need some more confidence, kind of leading into that next day, there is nothing wrong with watching yourself play or watching some old film. And I think there's something to be said. You can really gain a lot from obviously watching yourself play. There's nothing more real than watching yourself through film. But I know for myself, I can pick up on little things that I've done previously, and I can use those things again, or I can pinpoint negative things that I was doing. Maybe it was taking too much court. Maybe it was speeding up in the middle and not sitting and staying for the recounter. It was it could be a wide range of things. Anyhow, it's valuable and it makes a lot of sense. And if you want some added confidence leading into that next day, I highly suggest watching some film and getting something from that. So, that was kind of what I did each night. Woke up the next day and kicked some more ass, if you know what I mean. So was able to walk away with 2 golds and a bronze. Ryan and I got gold in men's, got the cheap gold in singles, and then took bronze in mixed doubles. So let's talk about men's doubles first. So Ryan and I ended up playing Gabrielson and Lang in the winner's bracket semi. That was to get us into the winner's bracket final. Kind of a weird event. There was only 9 teams. So we were the 1 seed. Wright and Barr were the 2 seed. Lang and Gabrielson were the 4 seed. Dawson and Johnson were the 3 seed. Sorry, but so played Gabrielson and Lang in the winners bracket semi. I think beat him like 9-7. And the story of the men's day, was Dawson and Johnson beating Wright and Barr. Granted, Franklin Ball, Dawson, his game's probably enhanced by 10-15%, maybe not 15%, maybe 5-10% with that Franklin Ball. J-Dub played extremely well. I think, I honestly think that Duraball probably suits J-Dub better. But with Callan and all the lobbing and how physical he is with his dinking, how low he gets, how he likes to scramble and kind of use defense as good offense, that ball definitely caters to him. So those guys beat Wright and Barr in the semis. We played them in the finals. Lost the first game. They played extremely well. Callan kept freaking lobbing over my head. And I kid you not, that guy can disguise his lob better than anybody. He can lob when the ball is bouncing on its apex. He can lob as a half volley, or he can lob out of the air. So he's got 3 different looks. And he rarely ever, so I was going cross court to cross court with Dawson in that first game, and he rarely ever lobbed over Riley. It was always cross court. So there's value behind lobbing cross court when there's 2 righties. If you're on the right side and you're lobbing cross court, if you're dinking cross court and you lob cross court, it's over that righty's left shoulder, and the person that's in front of you has to move diagonally back for that overhead. Anyhow, even with Rye being crazy athletic, that's an uncomfortable movement for even someone that's athletic like Riley to be moving back diagonally and trying to take that overhead. Anyhow, the first game resulted in me tracking down those lobs, letting it bounce, and then trying to recover and get established off of that. But that lob literally ate us up in the first game. And then, even halfway into game 2, it was still eating us up. Once Callan missed his first lob, which was like late in game 2, it was like 7-6 game 2, I had a little sense that we may be crawling our way back in after he missed that first lob. Anyhow, we chipped away, found a couple things that worked. put me on the left for a little bit, showed him a different look. We're able to win game 2 and then clawed in game 3 and used that momentum and ended up cleaning up in game 3. And then obviously we ended up playing on Sunday, played championship Sunday, ended up playing Dawson and Johnson again. And to be honest, after kind of getting a really good sense of what kind of team they are in game 2 and game 3 of the winners bracket final, I know myself felt extremely confident, and we kind of felt like, hey, we can beat them in a wide range of ways. We can beat them just out grinding them. We can beat them, just through dinking and playing high percentage and by the book, or we could play with a bit more risk, look to drive the third, get ride disconnecting. And then also, looking to flip a bit more from the kitchen line or just speed up and clean up from there. So we kind of felt like we could beat them in a wide range of ways. And as you saw in that finals, it wasn't probably fun pickleball to watch because it was like 30, 40, 50 ball dinking rallies. And there was a lot of, long, grindy, grueling points. There just wasn't a whole lot of offense. So we just kind of felt like at that given moment, we'd won game 1 like 11-1 and nobody really sped up. And so we're like, shoot, we won game 1 11-1, even though it was like a 15-minute game. Do we really need to put our foot on the gas and look to be more aggressive? And we decided not. We decided, hey, let's just keep with what's working. And anyhow, ended up beating them like 1, 3, and 6. And got my first men's national doubles title. Super pumped about that. I'd won 2 previous national titles in singles. Now I have 3 in singles, and then I have one in doubles. So happy to be a national champ in men's dubs. I've been working at being a better doubles player for a long time, and so now I feel like I'm starting to get some credit and be seen as one of the top dogs in dubs. So. Very good end of the year for me. I'd mentioned in a Instagram post that, I think just, having 4 kids, having Mac this year, dealing with the chaos. My wife has a business, I have the camp stuff. We have all the content on YouTube. Anyhow, we literally run a million miles an hour, and most people look into our situation or look into our life and usually think, how on earth do you guys do it? So it was just, it's a cool end of the year for us, for my wife and I, knowing that, hey, we worked our ass off. We didn't have really any time to breathe, and we're swimming in water up to our chin. But kids are healthy. We still love each other, and this guy is still producing some pretty good results. So, blessed with where we're at in life, and just a good end of the year. So we are more than happy.